So instructing a conveyancer means when a client formally authorizes a law firm to carry out a legal transaction on their behalf. So to bring it down to SOT legal, clients can instruct us through either a broker or an estate agent who would have to go to our SOT refer portal to generate a quote. And then if the client is happy with the quotation, the client can inform the broker to instruct us formally on our portal. So there are various legal transactions that we can handle here at SOT Legal. So it ranges from transactions, so your sales or your purchases, all the way to remortgages, as well as your standalone help to buy redemption, as well as a host of other things that we offer here in SOT Legal. Beginning, once the client has instructed the broker to formally instruct us on the portal, we'll basically need them to onboard. And here at SOT Legal, we carry out a digital onboarding system, meaning that we do not have to see the client face to face. So this will require the client completing a client questionnaire, as well as reading the client care pack and signing this document, as well as carrying out their ID checks with our partner system called Who. And if everything checks out, that would mean the completion of their onboarding, basically, for us to get to know who the client is. So onboarding should not take a long time. I would say a max of 20 minutes because it's fairly straightforward. However, there's some exceptions, probably when the client doesn't have the documents we require, such as like their photo ID or their bank statements. In those situations, the client will need to either ring us or send an email, and then we'll send them like a certification guide for them to return the document out of the portal, and then we'll force complete. However, there are certain things the client must do, such as filling the client questionnaire and signing the client care pack as well, and also taking their liveness. ID is very important, especially because we carry out a digital onboarding system for us to be able to get to know the client, and also we have legal obligations that we have to fulfill, and that's why it's really, really important for us to get those documents to be able to identify who you are. Just expect the client to just onboard as soon as we send the welcome email to themselves. In a transaction, there are multiple people involved in the transaction, so most times it can be if the client doesn't return documents that we require from them as needed. It can also be if we are expecting a mortgage offer, probably the mortgage offer has not been sent to ourselves. I think these are the common things that would delay onboarding. Yeah, so it's really important that we receive the signed documents, so consisting of the client questionnaire as well as the client care pack, because it basically gives us the consent to proceed with the client's transaction, because it has to do with the client consenting to us processing their personal information. Also, the form, which is the client questionnaire, contains like sections about the client's information, personal information basically, and also the details of the property that we are supposed to help them with. So it's really important that we have this document signed and returned for us to begin the legal work, because it basically gives us authorization to proceed. Let's start with the sale. So if your sale falls through, there are two things that can happen. So one, if the seller has onboarded, we would usually allow the client to suspend the case while they look for a new buyer, put the property back on the market, and then if they come back to us within 6 months, we'll be able to use the same ID documents they used. However, they might need to refill the client questionnaire if anything changes. On the side of the fees that have been paid, sometimes the fees may not be refundable, but this will be stated on your client care pack. In the case of a purchase, so the purchase would usually have the client paying some upfront fees, such as your searches. If it doesn't go through, we can suspend the file, and then the same thing with the sale. The client can come back within the next 6 months and we'll use the same ID documents. And in terms of the searches, we have what we call the second search promise. So in the event that the solicitor or the legal team have already applied for a search previously, they'll be able to offer you the free second search promise in that case.